Welcome to Block Party 2021 at Prairie Point Quilt and Fabric Shop in Lenexa, Kansas. And this one's called Grandma's Recipe Box. And our first block is September, and it's called Block 1. And I'm going to start doing a series of videos for you. So the first block that we have is the, what's it called? It's just 4 different pinwheels on here. And can't get much simpler than this. It's pretty easy for a triangle anyway. So I'm going to give you a few tips on this, and I hope to be able to do this for you every month. But to make your little half square triangles nice and neat and accurate, most of my patterns are designed to have them be squared up so that they're a little bit oversized once you make it, and then you're going to square it up to just the perfect size. So for those of you that are beginners at this and need a little help understanding directions, what you're going to do on when you put your background and your print fabric together, just like that, after you've cut them out, they're 4 inches square, and we're going to draw a line right on here like this from corner to corner. So have your ruler so that your drawn line is right going corner to corner like that. So it doesn't show up very much maybe in the camera, but you can certainly see it when you're sewing it. Another way to do it is to take one of these little Creative Grid seam markers here, and you can put this on. It has little grooves right there down the center. Put that on there, and then with the right kind of pen or pencil, you just draw lines right through there, and that'll get your lines on there as well. Not every pen or pencil will fit in these narrow little grooves though, so you have to see what will work for that. Okay, once that's done, you're going to sew on each side of the line, okay, 1/4 inch. And after you sew 1/4 inch, you're going to cut that right down the middle, like that. And then you're going to press your seam towards the print, okay? Go to the iron and press it. I'm just going to press this with my fingers now, but you can go to the iron and press that down. It's a good idea to set your seam with the iron first and then press it over this way, pushing your seam that way so that you don't have any little tucks or puckers in there. Okay, so here's one that's already pressed and ready to go, and I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can square this up. One way is with the block lock square up ruler, and this is nice because it has a little groove in it there to catch in the seam, and I'll show you how that works. So when you place this on your block, you're going to want to have the block lock logo be on the side of where the seam is not pressed towards it, or the seam is pressed away from. So I put that on there, and you can see how that just fits right in there and locks in place. Now if I were to put it on backwards, it would go like this, and you can see where the corner of the block lock ruler is not going to be at the seam line, so that would be a very bad cutting mistake if you did that. So I'm going to put it over here on the correct side. I want my 3.5 inch measurement of the block lock ruler to be inside of my little half square triangle unit here, and I'm going to cut these 2 edges. Didn't cut off much. This one was pretty close, but I have to turn this around. Make sure the logo is on the lower side of the seam and trim off these. Okay, and then you have an exact 3.5 inch square. So it's kind of hard with different people's differences in sewing and making seam allowances. It's hard to get them all. It would be hard to get all of these exactly 3.5 inches by using the exact measurements. So that's why we oversize them. Block lock comes in different sizes, and I think the most versatile is the 6.5 or the 5.5 inch one, because you can always do smaller blocks with it, whereas you cannot do larger blocks with the small ones. But if you want it to be the exact size, then the 3.5 inch would be perfect for that. Okay, another way to do it is using the Tucker trimmer. And I really love this one. This is very versatile because I will show you later how you can use it for quarter square triangles. This has half-inch markings on one side, hole on the other. Since we're going to cut a 3.5-inch square, we're going to put this line right on the seam line, like that. And as you can see, I've got the 3.5-inch dotted lines here inside my block. I don't want them outside the block, or it won't end up, it'll be too small. It won't be a 3.5-inch square. So I got block extending past all 4 sides, all the way around there. Okay, this one you gotta hold it so it doesn't move. All right, turn that around. 3.5 on there. Okay, this would actually be better if I was holding it closer to me. I'm trying to make it easier to see there. Okay, another 3.5-inch exact one. So if you don't have those tools, aren't ready to invest in them yet, you can always use just a regular Creative Grids ruler. Okay, this one, any of these will work well. I'm going to show you how that will work. So this Creative Grids ruler has 1/2-inch markings on 2 sides and hole on the other. Again, since this is a 3.5-inch block, I'm going to put the side with a 1/2 inch here. It says 3.5 inches. I'm going to set that on there. So this works very much like the Tucker trimmer, with the diagonal line going right through the seam line. I have the block extending past the all 4 sides of the 3.5-inch measurement. I'm going to hold that down and trim that, turn it around, trim it again. Okay, so we have another exact 3.5-inch square triangle. The nice thing about the Creative Grids is it has little grips on the back. The Tucker trimmer, you'll probably want to put some little grips on the back to use that. And once you get those all done, most of these, then you'll lay these out just like it shows in the pattern, like that. These two will be laid exactly the same way when you sew them, because when you turn them around, they're going to make your pinwheel. So these two together, and then these two, press the seams one direction, towards the same way in the other one, and then sew those together, and you have your block. Do that 4 times, and you have 4 blocks. And next month, I hope to be able to show you some tips on making this October block. So enjoy Block Party. Let us know if you have any questions. The dates are October 10th and October 12th to get your block at $3.50, $3.50 with your finished block brought in from September, and otherwise it's $5.50. So we'll see you next month.